Hello and welcome to Living on the Edge Gambling Vlog episode number 10. I want to take this little time to thank y'all for subscribing to the channel, and I know a lot of you I actually met in person on the gaming floor and we had conversations and you subscribed, and I really appreciate that. I think that this little niche of culture it's culturally important. I think I think that it's the fringes of society, but I think that the fringes of society are still relevant to human culture in general, and I like being able to share it with y'all. And I like that we had such a wave of subscribers, and I just want to say I appreciate that a lot. Currently, my life and the vlog are sort of on a delay of about 1.5 months, or maybe even more. I haven't released a video in nearly a month because I've been quite busy. I went on a pretty big downswing. I think the worst of it was I was down around $10,000. And I'm kind of playing out of that thing. It all started on a trip to Phoenix, which I have footage of. We'll eventually get to it, but I'm working, and then when I have a time space of free time, I go back and I have all this footage of the past, which I what is the word? Curate, and then edit. And so anyways, I want to get this road trip, which we've made it to Chicago in the road trip series, and we're on our way back. I really want to finish that off so we can get back into this Las Vegas and West Coast action, because there has been a lot of action and I have some really cool footage. Yeah, so let's get this road trip series over, and so we can get back into the other action. I hope you like what you see, and I want to thank you again personally for tuning in. And let's roll the tape. Comped room in St. Louis at Ameristar. It's actually St. Charles, Illinois. I don't know why they gave me 2 beds, but they did. And it has this kind of step down den, 2 TVs, as if I need 2 TVs. And that's St. Charles, Illinois. All right, so I'm at Ameristar, St. Charles, Illinois. I'm gonna head downstairs and check the machines. I decided to stop here on the way back because they gave me a free room and $145 of free food, which there's no way I can eat all that. So, gonna go grab some food, try to spend as much as I possibly can, and then check all the machines, and then shove off in the morning towards, the plan right now is Kansas City, but we shall see. Hopefully we can get some good action tonight and make some money. I almost shit my pants thinking the bill collector was full, and it was just stuck. So she came and fixed it. I was in the middle of this play and I thought that I was SOL. But it just needed to be resetted. She said the bill collectors just got emptied like not long ago, and that I have plenty of space. was $25 below hand pay. Do you really want to play that big though? Because yeah, so you go here,
Okay.
and then you can pick a bigger size if you want to. All right, leaving St. Charles, shoving off towards Kansas City. We're gonna keep playing Missouri. We'll be there in 3 hours. And then where we go from there, I still haven't decided. All right, so this place is literally called Booneville, Missouri. Booneville, Missouri. Isle of Capri. It was 10 minutes out of the way. I had to come check it out on the way to Kansas City. Maybe we get lucky. That's a fat ball right there. That's a big one. You ever seen a square that big? What on earth?
Not
bro?
landed it.
That's so sick, right? You've seen it flash, yeah. I never seen it land till right now. Oh, really? Wow. That was actually a shitload of action. Hit a $1,000 Buffalo Link money ball. Then found a $20 treasure box, or whatever, not treasure box, whatever it's called. Found a $20 money balls. Got wrecked for like 1,000. And then there was a $12 Phoenix in there and won it back. So it was like two pretty strong movements. And here I thought this was going to be some rinky-dink little nothing, and I found some really good, nice sized plays. $20 play, $12.50 play. Oh, I found a $10 play, $5 play. I think there was a guy in there counting cards as well. But yeah, now we're going to hit the road and move onwards towards, what's this place called? Kansas City. And you know, I was thinking of something too. Like, it's hot and humid. You know, it's the beginning of June. So I'm actually starting to think that maybe the northern route makes sense. It doesn't make sense necessarily for profitability, but it makes sense for this episode because it gives us a bigger look at American gambling. And it also will just simply be not as hot. And my air conditioner in this guy doesn't work very well. So let's hit it. My car is throwing me a code that my wheel speed sensor is bad. Shouldn't be too big of a deal, but just gotta be careful not to lock up the brakes on when we're on the highway on this water. I have a feeling we're gonna be on water because it looks pretty dark and cloudy out here. This becomes much more relevant once I'm in Oklahoma and I find the caliper of my front left brake basically completely unbolted and dangling off. But for now, I just think it's a wheel speed sensor. You'll see. Right, from one Ameristar to another, we have braved the storm. We have driven our submarine across many miles of highway and actually got another free room here in Kansas City. And not only do we have this Ameristar, but there's a Harris Caesars. I think there's a few. There's a number of casinos here. Parking lot does not look very full. although it's a big parking lot. Building is similar to the other one, kind of this station vibe, like a train station vibe. I learned later from my friend Daniel, St. Louis Dan, that this was in fact a station casino at one point. We got some cool lights. I like these Ameristars. This is Boyd. The one in Indiana was not Boyd, I don't believe. I think it was some random other thing. Or maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But here we have it. Ameristar. Let's find some big, fat, juicy plays and win. All right, here we are, Ameristar, Kansas City. If anyone is watching this from this area, could you please tell me why they didn't just call it Missouri City? Because we're still in Missouri, but it's called Kansas City. It's a big space. It's cool brick floors. I gotta try to find the hotel check-in. It looks like the gaming floor is quite large. This looks cool. At this point, I effectively proceed to play every location in Kansas City through the night. There's a lot of big action. I believe I win, but the footage is kind of sporadic. So I think I just jump straight to Harrah's from there. Alright, this is Harrah's. Kansas City. I had to take some back, like, industrial frontage road thing here. Haven't really explored the city. I like that there's rain on the ground. It's pretty gritty. Dropping 4K balls up in Kansas City. That's a nice little fat ball. Little fat balls. Fat balls in General Tso's mouth. Picked up 780 on the end. Really nice spin. That Harrah's was totally awesome. It was the biggest action, the most consistent action I've ever had on the trip. Today has been a ton of action all day. That's gotta be a giant red building. Coming home from the Bally's back to the Ameristar. I lost like $600 at Bally's. I'm really tired, it's 3 in the morning. Kansas City is quite a place. For a $1 bet, $360 win. Damn, 360 units. Okay, so Hollywood Casino at the Kansas Speedway racetrack. We hit a Buffalo for a good payout. Got a $20 comp and ate some eggs and potatoes. I'm actually thinking about backtracking into the back into Kansas City because there were so many plays last night at that Harrah's. It's 26 minutes away. I think I kind of want to check it one more time before I head into the next part of the trip, which I actually don't even know what the next part of the trip is. Part of me wants to go back down to Oklahoma. Part of me wants to go up to Black Hawk, Colorado. And part of me wants to just cut straight across Kansas because there's casinos in Kansas too. I'm actually at one right now. I'm right over the border. So I have no idea what I'm gonna do, but I think I'm gonna check that Harrah's real quick just because it was so juicy last night. All right, made another $440 at the Harrah's. And yeah, Phoenix Link made about 500 at the other spot on the Buffalo Ascension. So we're almost up 1,000 on the day, 900 and change. And I just looked at the GPS. Vegas is still like 19 hours away. I've been traveling for 2 days. I've spent 2 nights, and I'm only really like 6 hours away from the place I left. So I really do have to start driving. And so I'm just gonna cut through Kansas and just drive as far as I can. And if I see a billboard for a casino, I'm gonna stop at it. I think there's another Boyd property in Kansas called Kansas Star. And then somewhere in between there's one, I think it's an Indian casino, but you kind of got to go out of the way to get to it. So I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do. Just I'm leaving Kansas City. I know that much. And but I did like it here a lot. I really did. All right, let's go. All right, not worth the detour. There was barely any machines. I took a couple of Emerald Guardian plays. Got stuck a bit. Not worth the time going over here. I don't even know what it was called. It was called like Prairie Well or something. I don't even know. That's the building. They're anti-AP. Going down to Wichita. I mean, that looks like a painting. We're like an hour outside of Wichita. I got a free room waiting for me. I just learned that there was a lot of flooding going on there, like not even 24 hours ago, like pretty bad, like the worst flooding they've ever had. Some of the fields have been flooded as I've been going through. So yeah, hopefully we don't have any dangerous issues with flooding, but skies look clear. I think it's all good. So in an hour we'll be laying more action and hopefully making more money on the day. But for now, I'm just taking this in. That's what infinity looks like. All right, I made it down to Wichita. This is Kansas Star Casino, Boyd owned, and apparently, yeah, I have a free room here waiting for me, and it's a Hampton, so that's kind of cool. Maybe it'll be nice. Hopefully it's big, and hopefully once I get checked in, I mean, it's 10 p.m. Once I get checked in, I'm gonna check all the machines, definitely. All right, Kansas Star. So this particular Boyd casino has a Hampton by Hilton, kind of cool. And there's a complimentary breakfast in the morning. So, free is nice. Well, ain't that something? It's rare that you see them in hotels anymore. It's cool to see it. All right, I just played a pretty long blackjack session. Satisfyingly long blackjack session. The first run through the casino, looking at the slots, there was nothing. The place was picked completely dry. And then I started playing a blackjack session, and then from the blackjack table, I saw an Ascension get left in a Buffalo Ascension get left in a perfect position, $4 spin. And then the deck went negative. I ran over to the Ascension, made like $500, came back for the shuffle. And then at that point, I wasn't getting any heat, so I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to be super blatant. And it would be like every time the deck would go negative, I would get out and go check slots and come back for the shuffle. It was just blatant AP of both games, and no one seemed to mind. So I don't know. Just I lost a little bit at blackjack and won at slots. So very tired though. So I'm gonna go to bed and maybe try this again in the morning, or just keep working my way down to Oklahoma. All right, I'm leaving Kansas Star. I went and checked the machines with my coffee, and I found zip. I'm going to head down into Oklahoma. There's a bunch of native casinos. There's one a half hour away, and I'm going to head, on the way into Chicago, we played the southeast of Oklahoma, but on the way back, we're going to be playing the northwest corner of Oklahoma. So we should have, after this trip, a very strong sample of what Oklahoma has to offer. So more action in about a half hour driving. The Rock and Brews. Across the border from Kansas to Oklahoma. I caught a Buffalo Link play, and that's about it. Oklahoma really, they always have these huge spaces, and just like these casinos are just, this is a small one and it feels big, All right, so that casino was called Tonkawa, and I found a $10 Phoenix and a 3.75 Phoenix and got wrecked on both. Now I'm headed on down that road. They call this one the Fancy Dance. The Fancy Dance Casino. Looks tiny. First Wolf Run Eclipse play I've ever taken. Got my butt kicked for like $150. But it felt pertinent, I suppose, being a little native casino that I took a Wolf Run play. I don't know. Just felt... This is the first time I've ever played the game in my life, actually. The calculator showed me at a 101% return, so. All right, I think I'm gonna cut sort of west. There's a few more casinos to the west of Oklahoma City. I don't really want to go through the city proper just because it might be rush hour, and there's warnings of like weather. So I think I'm gonna start just cutting west and kind of avoid the city, and then catch some of those smaller spots on the west edge of the city. So little do I know at this point, the caliper on my front left brake has lost both bolts and is just basically hanging by rust as I'm going like upwards of 80 miles an hour on this, 2-lane route. I have no idea as I'm just jamming out to the radio here. Triple major. Right when I went downstairs. Boom. Brakes fail right into a triple major. All right, I'm still in Watanga, Oklahoma, northwest of Oklahoma City. When I pulled into this casino, which is called Lucky Star, I noticed that my brakes were giving me an issue, and the whole caliper is like hanging off. So I lost I lost both caliper screws. I think I lost one caliper screw in Illinois, and at the time I had brought it to AutoZone, and they said the scanner said the code I got was like a wheel speed sensor. So the whole way here I just figured, hey, it's just the wheel speed sensor is acting weird. No, I was missing a caliper bolt and my caliper was flopping around. Luckily, I made it here to Lucky Star. I was stuck like $2,000 on the day, and then I hit a triple major on the Phoenix Link and basically broke even on the day. But more importantly, I didn't get in an accident because I was driving on rain without brakes practically. So anyway, I spent the night here last night. It's a tiny casino. There's not much to check. And then I woke up this morning, went to Napa, and my parts are in Oklahoma City. They're going to come in the morning. So this is night 2 at Lucky Star, Watanga. And I got to know the town pretty well because I called about 7 or 8 different people looking for the specific bolts that I need, and they just don't have them out here. It's a fine thread bolt, and most of the people out here have a more coarse thread because the people out here are driving like Ford pickups and stuff. They're not driving little Japanese cars. And I mean, I called everyone. I called lumber yards. I called tractor, farm tractor supply people, machine shops, hardware stores, mechanics, and the bolt doesn't exist in this town. The bolts do exist 15 minutes south in a town called Geary, but I can't drive there because I don't have brakes. And I even offered a lot of these locals, I told them I'll give you $100 cash to go pick these bolts up. No one will do it for some reason. So yeah, night 2 in Watanga, Lucky Star. Hopefully some people start coming into the casino and spin these machines, because I'd like to at least find some more plays. It makes it a little better. In the meantime, just chilling. Probably do some writing, reading. All right, hopefully we catch a play tonight. Boom, just got a double major.
I've never seen this before.
And this is the machine I hit the triple major last night. Did you play me?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, I saw you yesterday.
Just smacked it. That was some action-packed shit. I just hit a double major on the same machine that I hit a triple major on last night. I bet you these native guys in surveillance, they probably think I'm cheating or something, because I'm just walking up to this thing and smashing it. So yeah, Lucky Star. What can I say, man? It's a lucky casino. My brakes failed. That's why I'm here. Could have definitely died on that road easily. I was going pretty fast on rain without brakes. And now I'm up on this casino like, I don't know, 4,500 or a little bit more actually, because right after I hit that double major, I took a $5 spin and made another 1,000. So I just made 3,200 in less than an hour. That was a nice little run. Made the whole car breaking down worth it. So my parts come into Napa at 8 in the morning, and I know checkout's at 11, so it'd be nice to be able to use the shower after I get my arms and clothes all disgusting with the oil on the parking lot. So probably gonna have to do this car real early. That way I can use the facilities before I shove off. Hopefully all it needs is these bolts. I really hope it's not. I hope the other components didn't get messed up. I don't think they did, but we'll know tomorrow. And in the meantime, just maybe keep hitting double and triple majors at Lucky Star, Watanga, Oklahoma. This place is awesome. Hopefully this does it. Pretty easy fix. You can see the damn fucking bolts fell out. I could maybe reach them from down here without even having to take the tire off. Yeah, so the pads, I just inspected them. They didn't get too fucked up. There's the caliper. Gotta screw that back on. So I did have to buy some hand tools, but we now have a rotor that's attached, meaning we have brakes and we can get back to Vegas for more high stakes gambling action, but not the kind of high stakes where you're on the road without brakes. The biggest jackpots are closer than you think. I guess they were. I guess losing the brakes worked out because we had that double major and the triple major. So they have multiple locations, this Lucky Star. I've driven about an hour, and I'm hoping we can find some food here because I haven't eaten yet, and I didn't eat last night because there was nothing open in Watanga. So I'm gonna try to find some lunch and hopefully some plays. Just smack the grand. Look at that.
Wow,
I just won $980 on a triple pop.
$1,000.
That was great. All right, I'm leaving Lucky Star. This place called Hammond, and yeah, let's get the Lucky Star behind us. And I'm headed to Albuquerque. Gotta go through Amarillo, maybe play poker, but really just set a goal to drive 6 hours today and get to Albuquerque. There's gonna be more casinos there. This particular session, I started winning a hens grand for $1,000, and then I just proceeded to give it all back on a 7.5 hens. I found an $8 wolf run that was in range. I found a 3.25 cats that was in range, gave it back there. So it ended up resulting in actually a net loss, but it started out good. But we did get a sandwich. I just got told to turn my camera off in the parking lot, but then I told him I was doing a gambling vlog, and he was all like, oh yeah, put in a good word for Destiny and, oh shit, I already forgot the guy's name, but New Mexico. A couple hours outside Albuquerque. This place is tiny. Tessique. Saturday night, I'm hoping these rural, well not rural, but off the beaten path spots maybe I can find some juice. All right, I took there's actually a lot of play in there. I took a $4 Regal Link, 375 money balls, and a couple of small fire ball dropper game, whatever the fuck that's called, Firelink ball dropper. I'm trying to move fast. I got a cup of coffee. It's after midnight, and I got a couple more casinos to check up here in Santa Fe. So we're on to the next one. Oh, we're up $57 on Santa Fe. All right. This one's called like Buffalo something. I don't know. I don't even know what they're called anymore. It's so late. I don't even know. Buffalo Bob's? Sorry, Buffalo, there it is. Buffalo Thunder Casino. I just made $1,000 out of Phoenix. Now I'm checking out this badass art. All right, well, that was really an exciting morning. So at about 4 in the morning, I was so tired, I ended up just setting up the car camper in the casino parking lot. After I had won about $1,000. And I got a knock on the window at about 9 a.m. Hey, sir, he said, you can't be sleeping in your car, bro. You know. So I'm like, okay. I walk into the casino, brush my teeth, get a free cup of coffee, and then I hit like, not big, but I hit like $48. And then the security comes, and they're trying to ID me and all that. So I think that was the first time I've ever had an unpredicated slot back off that didn't have to do with my history as a blackjack player. That was just a straight up like, you slept in our parking lot for free when we're trying to sell hotel rooms for like $200. You hit us, you know, pretty good. Sir, we need to see your ID. Nope. See ya. So now we're driving down to Albuquerque. So when I lived in Albuquerque, I worked at the other location for Annapurna. It's really quality, like Indian, vegetarian, and I used to wash dishes at one. So I'm gonna eat here in Santa Fe. So here's the Santa Fe location interior. I ate a great meal at Annapurna. Of course, I didn't take any video of the food because I was so hungry. I just ate it, and then I thought about, oh, dang, I didn't take any footage of that. But it was a really good vegetarian burrito, and we're gonna head down to the next casino between Santa Fe and Albuquerque. It's called Black Mesa, and hopefully find some plays. We've got 3 more casinos in the Albuquerque area. Black Mesa, something I have to look up again, and then Sandia, and then we're just gonna start shooting into Arizona. So this lady's trying to take my jackpot, I guess. Trying to cash my jackpot out. It's pretty funny. You know, it's one thing to just shamelessly take these people's money, but it's another to say F you, F you, F you to your patrons. Cool, hit a nice hand pay in there on the money balls. Made $700 something, almost $800. The hand pay took an eternity, and once they finally paid it to me, she was trying to force me to place another $40 bet to clear the screen of the jackpot. I'm like, no, I'm not placing a bet. You can't force me to place a $40 wager, you know, with the meter reset. She's like, you have to. I'm like, no, I don't. I just cashed my ticket out and left. They were very incompetent, as was I. I was going to the car, and then they chased me out with the tax pay and my ID, my driver's license, thankfully. But yeah, they were a mess. They didn't really know how to run a casino. But I took them for 800, so whatever. All right, on to the next one. All right, moving right along. This is called the Santa Ana Star, and that last casino was called Black Mesa. I don't know if I got footage of the building, but right, let's hit this and get in and out so we can get to Sandia and Albuquerque and then start working our way into Arizona. That last spot was really good. Bumped into the first APs that I've seen in a very long time, a couple from Minnesota and Texas. They were coming back from a wedding. We chopped a Buffalo quick hit and chatted a little bit. Now I'm at Sandia Resort, and they said they were headed this way too, so we're gonna kind of just try to share the plays and might chop some more stuff. But yeah, over there at that last spot, I caught another Phoenix single grand. I was stuck a bit, but it got me up, and then won that Buffalo quick hit. So otherwise, though, that place had nothing. It had good blackjack games, though. Good cuts on the 6 deck. All right, Sandia, and then getting out of the city. All right, just finished at Sandia. I'm pretty exhausted. I got my ass handed to me by 2 buffaloes. No, sorry, 3 $10 buffaloes. The last 2 I just got completely wrecked on. Anyway, I just, looks like on the day I'm up like 250 or 300, somewhere in there. I think at peak we were up like 1,500. Unfortunately, really got my ass kicked there right at the end. I'm gonna get moving. Sandia was big, and there was a lot of people playing on Sunday, so there was a lot of work to do. I lapped it probably 5 or 6 times. They had a poker room as well, but I'm just gonna go hit those little highway spots and just get into Arizona. That was the plan. And so I ended up making 600 and change in there, like 630. Found some Frankenstein plays, a lot of Frankenstein plays. It was great. Some Phoenix, and now we're gonna go fill up the gas tank and clean all the bugs off the windshield and try to get into Arizona finally. And the reason that place was so crowded is because Sheryl Crow is playing a concert in there right now. So there's a bunch of Sheryl Crow fans. I'll make a video now that we're done with the play, but they have to pay us, so I pretty much checked the whole place, so they can scold away. That was 2 pushes on a $50. Yeehaw. I slept here in this rest area last night. I'm at the exact border of Arizona and New Mexico. I made some money last night at that last destination, and there's a $50 buffalo and it popped in 2 spins. I experienced the worst customer service I've ever seen in a casino. I notified the casino manager, so he knows, but the cage this was the most unprofessional cage I've ever seen. One of the employees was like pressing her cell phone, like pictures or videos or memes, against the cage while I was doing my transaction, and the supervisor was talking to me like I was the worst person in the world, that I came there and won and was trying to get paid. So I told her to stop giving me attitude, and then by the end of the transaction, I was like, can I have a rubber band to secure these bills? And she's like, no, you can't, but I can call security on you and have them escort you out. And I'm like, for asking for a rubber band? I'm like, is there a casino manager? She goes, no, there's not. Well, when I got to the parking lot, I called the casino. Yeah, the casino manager was there. So she was just lying and saying there wasn't one. Really, I mean, I've been in this industry for a long time, and that was the absolute worst customer service I've ever seen. However, I don't want to complain because along this trip I've also encountered excellent customer service, some of the best, most helpful people. 99% of them are awesome. So, but there's those outliers. I'm gonna get some water. It was called Sky City, and the cage supervisor was, I forgot her name, but if there was a award in the gaming industry for like worst casino employee, she would win it every year easily. Yeah. I slept right there behind those trees. Just taking a little rest here. Not far from Twin Arrows. Gonna stop and play some more slot machines and try to find food. Increases my odds. I had to take a video of that. So I played that Twin Arrow spot for a little bit, and then I just drove through all of Arizona, and now we are approaching the Nevada border, almost home. But I decided, this is wild, but I've actually never been to Laughlin. I lived in Las Vegas for, I think, more than 10 years, like a little bit over 10 years. And I've never made it down to Laughlin, which really is insane. So, Laughlin's right here. It's 20 minutes away. I'm gonna go to it, check the machines, and I'm probably gonna stay there for free in the Caesars property because I don't feel like driving that one more hour home after sleeping in the car for 2 nights in a row. I'm pretty exhausted. Or at least take a nap and a shower and then complete the trip because the room's free and I'm beat. So Laughlin is next. Back to my homeland. This is some familiar looking geology, scenery, whatever that word is. All right, we made it to the Harrah's in Laughlin, right there on the Colorado River. Fat balls. All right, so this part of the casino would be great for a horror film scene. Fucking gnarly golden nugget, Laughlin. Gnarly. Gutter punk shit. I'm in a slot tournament right now in Laughlin. All right, we just ranked up to first place in the slot tournament. So I think that gets like $1,500 of credits. Wow. First place right now. All right, so here's the slot tournament area. We're sitting in first place, but we have a sweat till 5:30 p.m. So if we win first place, we get $1,500 of Caesars Rewards credits, I believe, which is a lot of eating. Alrighty, well, I didn't really find any real plays, but I got to play that tournament. So here's the Laughlin Strip. I'm going to play a little bit more, just check a few spots before I head home and end the journey. I can definitely tell I'm home because it's hot out, really hot, summer in Vegas. And WSOP is gonna be going on when I get back. So it's gonna be crowded with poker people, which is not the funnest crowd to be around. Yeah, yeah, definitely time to do some laundry. Looking forward to doing laundry. Looking forward to being home, actually. I think I might, yeah, I popped into some of these places last night. I think I might go to Tropicana here. Just while I'm down here taking like Caesar's Entertainment Play spots. I want to check that thing out. Oh, I don't even think that's open. Looks like a giant riverboat. There's Aquarius. We were at Aquarius last night. I think I'm just gonna check Tropicana and Aquarius and then go home and get to the pile of video editing that is this trip. Unless, hopefully we find some nice action at the end of this trip that win like a huge jackpot right at the end of the trip. This is actually great for a $1 bet. 200 units, that's pretty sick. Here we got the Colorado River, right behind the Aquarius Casino. This place reminds me of like the Miami of fucking Vegas. Didn't find shit inside of Aquarius. The fact of the matter is that the closer I get to Las Vegas, Nevada, the less plays I find. And yeah, when I was in Kansas and Oklahoma, it felt like I was just like smashing, grabbing plays, but I can feel the competition. I see them out here. I didn't see them out in those rural areas. So it's time to head home. I left on the 12th of last month, May, and it is now the 10th of June. So I've been gone for almost a month. All right, 2 hours to Las Vegas. No more gambling on the trip unless something jumps out at me. I think the gambling portion of the trip's over. Gonna go home and unpack the car and start editing these videos. Wow, that was a long episode. If you made it this far, thank you for making it this far. I wanted to do a synopsis of the trip results. In total, $7,595 were made. I was gone for about a month, and I didn't play every day, and some days I played shorter sessions, but all in all, it was a good result for the entire trip, especially considering at the beginning of the series, we started down, I think, a couple thousand. It worked out, and yeah, that Oklahoma heater was really responsible for most of the winnings on the way home. That concludes the road trip series of the Living on the Edge vlog, and I look forward to uploading more content about the gambling adventures that I'm experiencing, and I look forward to growing this channel and having some cool stuff happen. Thanks again for tuning in.